Welcome to Basically Us. This is the show where two friends met online, mentored, and decided to make a podcast. Together they will share good conversations and lively debates on current topics, or they might just faff about. And don't worry, they won't mind their P's and Q's. Ladies and gents, Brady and Benski.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the podcast. I am super excited to have you guys all here today. And I got to tell you, it is absolutely amazing to see my buddy Benski, because we have not been able to connect for like a while. It feels like, and I know it sounds crazy because like what people don't know is Benski and I will send each other like, "Hey, I love you" text, like, "Hey, I love you. I can't talk to you right now." Right. Like I'm, you know, and that's kind of our thing, right? Like, it's like, "Hey, I know I'm really busy. I love you, but that means I'm not going to talk to you for a while." So,
100%,
dude, I'm wiped out. Like, so I just got back from vacation. It was my granddaughter's first birthday, and oh my gosh, dude, the travel was a nightmare. It was one of the worst travel experiences I have ever had getting to California, and it's so crazy because it's like right there, right? Oh my gosh, it was.
I mean, you're even closer than I am, so yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. And it was an absolute nightmare. So get this, dude.
Yikes.
So from where I'm at, the airport's like an hour and a half away.
Okay.
And of course, like I worked up until the point it was time to leave. We flew out at 6 o'clock. We end up leaving here at 3, right? So like an hour and a half, you have an hour and a half in the airport, and then like, you know, you go, right? Like DIA is very similar to Salt Lake. You can get right through. So we run into a ton of traffic and we get to DIA, we get to Denver International, right? All of the lots, I have never seen this. And you've been there, you've been to DIA. All of the lots are full. Economy lots, garage lots, short term, everything is full except for like one lot. And we had to park all the way. Like if anybody's familiar with DIA, we had to park all the way back at DIA, which is like a mile and a half walk to the airport. So we dropped the kids off because my wife and I, we have TSA pre. You obviously saw the video where people were clowning me saying, "Oh, I can't believe Brady's, has to be down with the peasants." And I'm going to get into that. It's kind of embarrassing. I shouldn't have made the video, right? It's like so bougie. But so we walk all the way into the airport, and my wife and I were like, well, the kids can get through the regular line. We'll go through TSA pre and we'll kind of meet in the middle.
Yeah.
Kids get through the security line. My wife goes forward into TSA pre. I go to check in and they go, "Hey, you don't have TSA pre." And I'm like, "Yeah, right. I've had TSA pre.
Try again.
It came out." "Yeah, right. Let me show you." Somehow between when I checked in and when I got my boarding pass from Frontier in the app, they removed the TSA pre.
That's wild.
Right?
But like why?
I don't know. I have no idea. And it's like super annoying, right? So they made me go all the way back through the regular security line. So like now I'm taking my shoes off, my belt off, and I have to take out like 15 pounds of camera gear, right?
Jeez.
Just absolutely nuts. And so I'm super, super pissed. Get all the way through security. And then I didn't know that this section of the airport existed. It looks like a bus stop. It's like you go through the whole A terminal and then you go downstairs and walk like another like half mile. And then you board outside. I can't tell you the last time I boarded a plane outside.
Yeah.
Like it's super
I haven't done that over there ever.
Especially at DIA, right?
Yeah. No, I've boarded outside, but like in small local, like we have the Provo airport just a few blocks away. So that's a small local airport. So I board outside all the time, but like DIA, no shot.
Right. It seems super weird, right? And like for me, like when I fly into Burbank, it boards outside. Totally fine. I don't care about the boarding outside. But as we're getting on the plane, my son points out, he goes, "Man, that pilot over there is fucking that engine." And I was like trying to look below the jetway and stuff, trying to figure out what this guy's doing. And anyway, short of the story, he's in there with a flashlight laying on his back inside of this engine. And I'm sitting there just going, "Oh gosh, here we go." Right. So it was like, we sat there for like another hour and a half.
Yikes.
Easily. Okay. So, so like now we finally get going. I got sat in the front, which was good. I didn't even have to pay for it. Like I got sat in the front, which is cool because the rest of my family like took up a whole row. Anyway, so we get into LAX, and there's a tram that you have to take from the terminal to the main like part of the thing. It's like a bus, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not like the trams we're used to, right? It's like
a bus.
It's like this shitty city bus, and it smells of like weed and bad choices, and it's okay.
Bus driver just looks miserable.
Oh yeah, horrible. You're like, "Hi, Mr. Bus Driver," and they're like, "Get the fuck on the bus," right?
Shut up. Sit down.
And it sits there for 45 minutes before we even take off. So we finally get to the main terminal. And then you have to go outside, and the rental cars are like not attached to the airport. You have to take another transport to like
Louise.
where you have to take a bus to where the rental cars like vans pick up.
Yeah, it's like
right?
Vegas has that. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of, right? But Vegas though, like you just go to the place and the rental car vans pick you up. This is like you have to take another bus now to go to where they pick you up.
Dude, do they make you pay like bus fares? Like,
no, I thought I did. I swear to God, I was telling Shannon that like I was like, dude, we're gonna end up like having to get like quarters or like a bus pass.
Tickets, please.
Right. Dude. Okay. So now this bus stop to the rental car places is in like the middle of LA, like around the airport. It's like nowhere near the airport, right?
That's hilarious.
So we get you know what? You won't know this, but I know for a fact Oz will. Oz, what's the name of the two characters? Oz is our sound engineer, by the way. Oz, what's the name of the two characters that make fun of everybody in the Muppets?
I won't know that. You mean the two old guys?
Yeah, what's their names?
Get out of here. I don't remember, but
you're right.
I know who they are.
Yeah, I knew you wouldn't know.
Dang it. I wish I would have known that offhand.
I don't know if Oz's mic's working because I guarantee you he knows. Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll give him a second. I guarantee he knows because he's like the mastermind of everything. But anyways, as we're going, so we get off the bus and it's got to be like 9:45, right? And there's these two guys sitting there, which is like, wait, hold on. I think Oz, do you know it? What is it? Knew it. Statler and Waldorf. Right. For anybody that watches the Muppets, the two dudes that sit up in the thing and make fun of everybody, Statler and Waldorf. That's 100% right too. That's weird. Yeah. So anyways, these two guys are just like taking their break from doing the little tram thing. And they're like, haha, if you guys are trying to go to these rental car places, they all close at 9.
And what time was it?
9:45. So now... But here's the crazy thing is my appointment to pick up the car was midnight.
Wait, okay. So they let you set the time to pick it up at midnight and it wasn't even going to be open until past 9.
Right.
Yikes.
Yes. Dude. Okay. So here we go. So now I'm in the middle of like LA. This is not something that my family are used to. Right? Like I'm used to like Detroit. They're not used to downtown area of LA with no lights. And here we are walking down the street through construction rubble and typical like downtown.
Yeah.
Right?
The classics. Yeah.
To me, no problem. No danger whatsoever, man. Like
sounds like home.
Yeah. Totally fine. But we're walking along. My daughter starts crying, dude. And I feel so bad because she's just terrified now that we're like in the middle of LA, right? So I book up National. I shoot over to National. And like we run over to National. National's open 24 hours. It just is like super expensive. But I have status there from all the time that I travel. So I just go up there. I book the car, go through the executive aisle thing that you have. And I grab a car and my son's girlfriend is like, hey, can you pop the trunk? And I'm like, yeah, hold on. Why isn't it popping? Can you unlock the doors? Doors aren't unlocking. I'm like, what the hell is going on with this? Come to find out the wrong key was in the car. So now we have to like move and it's like the only SUV that they had. So I had to go back to the front, get an SUV, right? So make long story short, they finally get me an SUV and we're checking out because, like you drive through that little thing and you check out, right? Yeah. The lady is there for Benski. 45 minutes, doesn't say a word to me. Takes my license, 45 minutes, doesn't say a fucking word. Not a word, right? And I'm just sitting there going, what the hell is going on? And then she gives me back my pass and tells me I have to go back to the counter because they don't have my reservation.
What?
Right. And it's on my fucking phone. Right? I'm showing them the reservation. So I
don't mean to laugh at you like this, but I can't help it.
I'm telling you, as much as I travel, you would think that this would not be the worst, but this is one of the worst I've ever had. So like,
I mean, this sounds bad.
So I have to back up around people. Like, that's not the most embarrassing thing in the world. Like, I swear to God, it's like, that is like one of the most embarrassing things. Or maybe like being in a stall without the lock. I've never felt so more vulnerable in my life than being like taking a dump in a stall and like not being able to lock the door. You just feel horrifically vulnerable. Anyway, so I just feel like the asshole that's having to back up like 6 cars to get out and around. Sure. So we go back up. I go back up to the booth and I'm like, dude, what the hell is going on? So they go, well, you have to book it back through your app again. I'm like, this is crazy. So I book it back to my app. Right? I rebook it through my app. I'm seeing like just my credit card is just burning at this point.
Your credit card's probably just like, is there fraud happening right now?
100%. Right? So Amex is like texting me and everything else. They're like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, I don't fucking know what's going on at this point. Like, but you're my credit card. You back me up, you sons of bitches, because I'm done with this night at this point. And I love Amex, by the way. Amex, if you're listening, I love you. Like, it's my favorite credit card on the planet. But anyway,
that's awesome.
So I book it again. Show them the ticket. They go, great. Hold on one second, Mr. Brady. For some reason, it's not showing again. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? So then they have to manually book it. Yeah. And like, weirdly enough, and you know me, man, like, I'm not the calmest dude in the world, but like, I have maintained my composure through this entire thing.
Which is impressive.
Right. And so, and I'm kind of bougie, right? Like, I pay for executive status at National for this reason, right? And so anyways, short of the story, another 25 minutes go by because I guess manually booking things now takes way longer than it does in the app. I finally get the keys again because they took the keys, get the keys back. Right. I don't know why they took the keys. I'm not running off the car because they have little tire copy things, right?
Yeah.
So anyways, but that brought something to mind. So we get back up to the gate again. Lady's taking another 20 minutes, dude. Easy 20 minutes. Yikes. My wife and I just get to cackling and my wife goes, what are we going to do if they don't have your reservation again? I'm like, looks like I'm stealing a fucking car today. Straight up. I am going to drive through the gate and they can just deal with me later at this point. This is crazy. Yeah. Oh my God. So then the rest of the trip was fine, but like absolute crazy beginning to a trip. Crazy. But
dude, that is wild.
On the other side of the things, now I know while I was gone, you were gone too. And you went to a place that smells of leather, sweat, and like motorcycle riders.
Balls. You can say balls. Yeah. Yeah. No, I went to Sturgis. Yeah. I have been going to Sturgis since 2020. So I went during COVID.
No mask, by the way, during 2020. No mask. Zero.
No mask.
I can only imagine.
Okay. So this is so funny. I'll get into this more, but like, that's such a funny point about that. But yeah, so I ride out there from here. It's about 650 miles one way. We always, when we ride out there the first day, we always get mostly there. We get to Casper, Wyoming. So it's about 3 to 4 hours outside of Sturgis, just because it's like easier to like, just go ride, relax, and then get into Sturgis the next day on a full day rested rather than like beam through for 10 and a half hours, 11 hours, and then try to do Sturgis. You know, it just makes more sense. But yeah, it was a blast. So this is the first year I've gone pre-Sturgis. So Sturgis technically starts the first Friday of August. And I went out the Wednesday before. Never done that before. I heard a lot of old guys do that because they can get out there and do the rides through the canyons and do all the rides that like everybody likes to do in a way less crowded environment. I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun.
You are getting older. You know that, right? Like,
I am getting older. I actually appreciated it. I know, dude. I know. Look at that, John. It's so crazy. But yeah, I mean, it was a blast. So my brother and I have gone every year again since 2020. The buddy that also came with us, we call him Beast. He didn't come with us last year because his bike blew up on the way home the year before. So 2023, his bike, or 2022, his bike blew up on the way home. So he didn't get to come with us. That was on the way home. And then he wrecked his new bike like 3 weeks before Sturgis last year.
Can we say hashtag people who should not be riding motorcycles?
I don't want to. We only, he knows how I feel about it, and I'll just
let him ride in the back.
Yeah, he's. Let's put it this way. I think he learned his lesson, because not that like the accident wasn't necessarily his fault. There was a lot of gravel on the road, but I also know that he realizes he was going a little too fast at the same time, and so like there was a combination of things, and so it's when he got this new bike, it was like his dream color, his dream everything. And so like he definitely took it a lot more seriously, like more serious than I've ever seen him. So I'll give him credit for that. Like he definitely learned, and he still is learning. Like he's not as aggressive as he used to be. Me, I'm still like trying to touch the ground when I'm like turning, left real hard. I'm like trying to reach down and like grab something, but I'm having fun with it.
Your dad went with you this time, huh?
Yes. So my dad's actually gone the last 2 years, or 3 years, 2 or 3. This was his third year. So my dad is the one who actually got me into motorcycles in the first place. So my mom and dad met on a motorcycle. My dad, if you ask my dad the story, he doesn't say this, but if you ask his best friends and my mom, the second he saw my mom, he was done. He was like, I'm in love with this woman. This is going to be my wife.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Dial it back for a second.
Mm-hmm.
How in the fuck do two people meet on a motorcycle?
Yeah. Okay. Catch this.
Like your dad was on a motor. Like they weren't both on the motorcycle and didn't know each other. That's weird.
Well, kind of. Okay.
Don't
catch
people
this.
Get their ass go.
So my dad sees my mom at like, they go to church on Sunday. He sees her. He's like, this is the girl, but she like has no interest in my dad, like zero interest in this dude. So he tries to talk to her. She doesn't talk to him. Okay, whatever. But he finds out that she's super into motorcycles. And so there's like this like dance, get together, mix and mingle thing. And the way it would go is that after those things, all the guys with motorcycles would go outside and they'd wait for a girl to get on, right? They would just like, that was how you picked up chicks, right? But what's great is my dad got all of his buddies and said, hey, get girls on the bikes so that when Liz comes out, she doesn't have a choice but to get on mine. So he had like planned this out so that she had to get on the bike. And so she sees that his bike is open. She's upset, but she loves motorcycles. So he's like, cool. So they get on, they're riding together. They're trying to talk or whatever. But my dad slides the bike out. They get caught and they slide out. And so she has road rash from like her knee up to her upper hip. And my dad's kind of messed up and he's like bringing her flowers and like, so can we go out? And she's like, absolutely not. Like that was their like first legitimate interaction. But obviously word down, but yeah.
Meeting girls for me was way harder, by the way.
Dude,
than just pulling up on a motorcycle.
My dad apparently was just that guy. I mean, I'll be honest, he's still that guy. We're out in Sturgis, and there's women that are my age that are like meeting my dad, and they're just like, "Oh, hey," I'm like, "What the hell is happening right now?" Like, I don't understand what this dude is, but like, he's just that guy,
Huh. Well, okay, so. What's the attraction to Sturgis? Like I've never been. Mm-hmm. I've rode motorcycles since since before I was even able to drive. Right. This is the longest stint I haven't had a motorcycle, and it's only been about like 8 months. Right.
Right.
So I think I sold it when we first met. Right. Like
you told me like you sold it like a little bit right before. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the first time I've. But anyways, I wouldn't be welcome at. I don't think I'd be welcome at Sturgis anyways. Right.
No, 100%
an adventure bike. But
no, dude. There are I would say a third of the bikes there are adventure bikes.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. Okay. No joke.
Well, okay. So what's the attraction? Welcome. Tell me the attraction.
So part of it, it's a couple parts, right? It's the largest motorcycle gathering in the United States. That's annual, right?
It beats out Daytona. Really?
Yeah, they beat out Daytona. They get on average, their peak is about 500,000 bikes, but that's also just at one given time. That's not counting all the bikes that have come in and out since that peak. So they estimate that over that about 1 million come through that whole week.
Okay.
So That's number one. Number two, there are a lot of different things. Like there is actually a lot of like history there, right? We have Mount Rushmore, you have Deadwood, where you have a lot of the like Wild West like cowboys. Like Calamity Jane is buried in Lead, South Dakota. All this kind of like history that's there. So that's a really cool part of it. Deadwood has some casinos. It's a really cool town. They have the world, I don't know about the world's, but one of the best steakhouses. It's a place called Legends Steakhouse. It's a casino, and below the casino is this steakhouse. Brady, I'm telling you, this place is pure bliss when it comes to steak. They have a bison steak. They've got this ribeye. Oh my God, dude. It is perfect. So
steaks. Okay. Let's talk about steaks. I'm a little bougie when it comes to steaks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little bougie about a lot of things now. I'm actually, now that I think about it, just bougie. But that's besides the point, right? Sure. Okay, so let's talk about steaks, because steaks, that's like a thing, right? Like that's a very, and real quick, because like I know we have to move on, but like let's steak.
No, keep going.
What is your perfect steak?
I'm a classic T-bone guy. I won't lie. Because it's
okay, so you like New York strips and fillets.
Yeah, New York strips and fillets. And as long as I trust the person cooking it, it has to be rare. If I'm somewhere obviously where I don't trust it, medium rare, just because you can mess it up either way and it's going to be pretty okay for me.
Sure.
But like, and that's it. Like maybe a nice butter glaze on the top, but like nothing crazy. Maybe a little bit of rosemary, but like as long as it's just that classic T-bone, I'm here for it. I am so here for it. It's not even funny.
I am a filet guy. And before anybody watching this podcast wants to say something about fillets don't have flavor, blah, 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 they have no fat. Fuck you. I'm telling you right now, because here's the thing. I will add whatever I want to it. So I add flavor by basting it with butter instead of taking your dry ass. What's the one cut that everybody loves? It's the what is it? It's because I don't eat it. So you got a T-bone, you got a T-bone, a ribeye.
T-bone.
Okay, so everybody's crazy about ribeyes, right? Mm-hmm. The only way to cook a ribeye really is on a grill. So you take your dry as a fart steaks and eat the shit out of it with it grizzle and everything else like that. I will take my filet that I've done in a pan with butter, rosemary, thyme, salt, pepper. I'll take that all day long. Medium rare, perfect. Over your grizzly ass ribeye that you got from Walmart.
You should try. So the ribeye at Legends, though, it's a 16-ounce ribeye. I kid you not. This thing is like, and people who aren't watching this can't see this, but it's like this tall. It's like 2.5 inches tall, and it is the most juicy thing I've ever tasted. Now I don't get it every time because it's just there's so much there that I never finish it. It just feels like wasting it. And it's like a $70 meal, so like I'm not going to do that. I usually get the bison ribeye because it's 8 ounces and it's delicious. But yeah, dude, I'm telling you, Legends, we'll have to go there sometime because it's awesome. But that's definitely, I mean, like honestly, just being out there and being out there riding with people that are also riding, because you got to understand, right? I mean, you're a motorcyclist, and anyone else who is, like, you go out on the road and you're fighting for your life. You're having a good time, but you're fighting for your life out there. Like every car that comes in, all the teeny boppers who are texting, even old ass dudes. Dude, I was fucking coming home yesterday and there was this dude double fist texting, right next to me. And I'm like, God, dude, I'm like, it's 90 miles a fucking hour, dude. What are you doing? But out there, you're surrounded. There's no cars out there. It's just bikers. So you can go out there. You're safe. You're protected. You're with everybody. And like the thing is, it's like, yeah, there's Hell's Angels out there. There's a bunch of other 1%er groups out there. All this other stuff. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. When Sturgis happened in 2020, I came home and all I saw on the news was that like it was one big Trump motorcycle rally, that it was a big anti-COVID thing, that if you wore a mask, you got ridiculed and yelled at, and that if you were a Democrat, like Hyde and all this stuff. And I can tell you all of that was literal bullshit. There were people there wearing masks. There were a lot of old people that are bikers wearing masks because they were old. It was the beginning of COVID. They didn't know what to do, all this stuff. And you know what everyone said? Not a goddamn thing. Nobody cared. Nobody, it's the only place that I've ever been genuinely where real freedom. That's what real freedom feels like. You can do whatever you want. You can be whoever you want. And as long as you're not actually rude to somebody else, it doesn't affect anybody. They just don't care. They're just like, hey, cool, man, just go. I don't give a shit.
I think people have like a Roadhouse thought process mentality over Sturgis. Because like I've been to Daytona and it's nothing like they make it out to be in the media. But
yeah.
I get it.
It's just this big thing. But like, I know I get the, it's funny because talking about the bougie thing, like I get it, right? Like I have a Road Glide and I have a really nice seat because I'm bougie. I want to ride comfortably. And I mean, yeah, it's a performance bagger. I know it's blurred out back there, but it's a performance bagger. But you know, it's funny you bring up bougie because you and I were talking before Sturgis about like the recording equipment. We had actually had the conversation about our recording equipment. And I feel like you are single-handedly responsible for starting to turn me bougie into the recording equipment world. So like I know you said you brought like 15 pounds of like recording stuff. Like what was the, like, what do you feel like were your must-haves? Like what was your setup like?
Yeah. So, well, so I get this question all the time too. Like it's crazy, right? Like, cause I think a lot of people think I do like all this like post process, like even the video now that you're seeing, right? Like there's no post processing. I mean, Oz might clean it up, who knows, but like probably not. But what I would say is like, if I have to leave the house with nothing else besides my phone, right? Like I don't count my phone, but actually probably my phone is probably the best recorder out there. I mean, to be honest,
right.
Like an iPhone 15 Pro is, I personally think is probably the best recording device that like, if you had to buy one thing, just invest more money into your phone and not into your phone, a cheap one. Yeah.
I mean, I've got a 14 Pro Max and I love it.
Yeah. You know? I mean, it's pretty much the same thing, right? And matter of fact, I've heard arguments that the Pro Max actually, the 14 Pro Max has a better camera than the 15, but Osmo Pocket 3, man, that's like my cheat. That's like my cheat device, right? Like the Osmo Pocket 3 is my cheat device. Like it does everything for you. It turns you into a pro video recorder for about $600. Like it's awesome. Yeah. But I mean, you know, that's that, right? But like I have so many cameras, I'm like drowning in cameras, dude. I swear. Like so I have the Osmo Pocket 3. I have the Insta360 X3. I'm going to be honest with you, anybody listening, Insta360, I love pretty much everything you make except for those cameras because, and again, people who are like audio visual files love them. I hate 360 cameras. And I know you have one. I hate them.
I do. Yeah. Yeah. I just got into it, not got into it, but like my wife and I were kind of talking about the money that I spent on that because like I only use it when I'm writing because I also hate it. I don't like I don't like the interface. I hate the app. I hate the app so much. And it's like the only way to like really consistently offload your stuff. But like it gets good footage, but that's about it. Like I kind of wish I hadn't bought it, honestly. Like, because I feel obligated to use it now, but I'm the same way, man. Like I know there's people out there who love it because like out in Sturgis, especially, dude, you'll see every like third biker has one, and they all bought they had two booths set up. They had two booths set up, and they said they sold out of the X4s the second day. They sold out of them, and they brought over 1,000. So it was just like people buy them.
It's
but
not surprising.
I don't know.
My thing is though, is that like, I do not have time to go into that damn app and download that big of a file all the time. And like, if you try to do the SD card route, right? Like, cause I have like a PGY Tech, like SD card reader and holder and all that. If you try to do the SD card route, it doesn't come in right. Like, and you have to use like other big, very expensive programs to download 360 audio. If you're not using Insta360, I hate that camera. I wish it was better and faster. But I will say it does have its use. So like if I was writing or I was doing something like very actiony, I can just have the camera out and it is going to collect the data somehow. It's going to collect the picture somehow. And like, I can capture it, but I don't really like the camera, and there's not a lot of options to move it. So, and then I have an action camera. So I have the Osmo Action 4. I love that camera to death. Like that is my second favorite camera that I own. It has a whole bunch of options. You can DJI mic straight to it. I love that camera, and I know where it's pointing, right? Like that's the other problem with the X3, the X3 is that like, I don't know what I'm seeing, right? Like, and I can see myself in the, so I think personally the best action camera out there is the Osmo Action 4. Plus, it has auto white balance, which is a great secret for anybody that uses it underwater, because one of the biggest problems underwater is that the white balance changes. And if you have a static white balance, it like blues will turn red. Like red becomes like really big underwater. Yeah. And so anyway, short of the story, that's why like my underwater videos that I've shown are crystal clear because of the Osmo Action 4. And then my last one is I have, the one that I'm on, like my studio camera is a Sony ZV-E10 Mark 1 with a, I don't know, like with a Viltrex 35 millimeter 1.8 focal, like it gets really deep into it. But our sound manager Oz has probably at least 13 gigs worth of me texting him back and forth, asking him everything of what I need. I don't know this shit. I don't like it's so crazy. But it's just one of those things of like I don't know what I know more about like other tech than I know about cameras, to be honest with you, right?
Oh yeah.
Like I buy the camera that's like gonna help me cheat and make it look good, opposed to other things. Like I will swear, like I swear by right now, like my favorite travel tech of all time. I just got one of those backbones. Have you seen those?
No. I mean, I might have, but I don't know what it is like offhand.
So like my secret life is gaming, and I try not to tell a lot of people that I game, right?
Oh, but for the phone. Yeah.
I try not to tell. I try not to tell a ton of people that I game, because like when you're in social media and you're doing you're like content creating and stuff like that. If you tell people that you game, they will find you. My Xbox gamer tag is highly inappropriate, right? Like it is highly inappropriate. Like I think if like my normal job got a hold of it, they'd be like, "Hey, you need to change that like right away,
or leave."
And here's the thing: it's our podcast, so I can say whatever I want. I named my Xbox gamer tag is Howley Boy, like because I lived in Hawaii. Right. And I didn't know when people were calling me Howley that it was like a racial slur against like white people. I had no idea. So like for the longest time, I thought it was just like everybody's nickname for me.
Sorry. That's the funniest thing
I thought I've ever heard for me. You're like, "Hey, Howley," and I'm like, "Hey, Howley, hey guys, what's going on?" Oh shit, the Howley's back, and I'm like,
"Oh my god,
hey." Yeah, so like that went on for like a year before like I actually met like a Hawaiian friend, and he's like, they're like calling you like a racist word.
Yeah,
Howley is like the taker of breath, right? Like you're taking this, and real quick, actually, like now that we Hawaii brought something up and about video recording that we were talking about. So when Shannon and I just went to Hawaii probably like a month ago or 2 months ago, right? And speaking of travel and everything else like that, we looked like absolute disgusting people, and it was 100% my fault, Benski. We looked like disgusting people. So, again, I take camera with me everywhere I go, right? And I have this like little to-go tripod and stuff like that. And I had to record a video, so I recorded it out on the patio of our room, right?
Yeah.
And lo and behold, I bring the camera in, and like we're in a rush to go out. So we go out and we have a day. We go snorkeling and everything else like that. And I left that camera there because like you don't want to get your Osmo wet, right?
I love
that's a terrible idea.
Like this is going.
Yeah, and like the mic and everything like that. And anyways, we come back and I walk in and I go, "Oh." They turned over the room, and here at the end of the bed is our Osmo Pocket 3 set up at the end of the bed, right? With the mic sitting on the nightstand just to capture all the right, and a pillow in the middle of the bed, almost like a waist saver pillow in the middle. Oh, I can never go back to the Hilton. Hawaiian Village.
The funniest thing ever. That's amazing. That's just amazing.
Oh God. And so like my wife and I were mortified. I mean, like absolutely mortified that we look like we're recording like OnlyFans stuff and like God, and we're in our 40s, right?
Hey, there's a market for that,
Probably.
You know,
Probably. But we're not doing it. But anyway, so back to this backbone thing.
just to be clear.
Yeah, just back to don't search. You're not going to find anything. Maybe you won't. No, I'm
Maybe
kidding.
you won't.
Anyways, so back to this backbone thing. I have like got back into like retro gaming like crazy, right? You can download these like emulators on your phone, which I never knew existed. And
Oh yeah, Delta.
I have, yes, Delta, exactly, Delta. That's a free plug for you guys, by the way. Hook us up.
Yeah, Delta, please, for the love of God.
For the love of God, hook us up. It's a free app. I don't think they can give us anything. But I've been playing the shit out of old Nintendo games like Kung Fu and shit like that. Yeah, it's amazing.
Dude, I've been playing like Donkey Kong 64 like crazy on that thing because that was one of my favorite games as a kid growing up. And so I just like threw that on there. Rayman. Oh my God. I'm like all about it. But I wish I had a backbone because like now I know because I know what a backbone is now that we've talked about it. But like it's really hard to play like what was it, Star Wars Squadrons or whatever.
Oh yeah.
On just like the thing. I'm like, oh no, this is not working out very well. But dude, it's the fact that like these emulators have gotten that good, right? So that it really feels like you're getting put back into those games is just absolutely incredible. Like I cannot get enough of those. But I'm so Backbone, good call for the Delta.
Yeah, 100% get it.
All right,
100% get it.
All right. I'm already gonna get out Pocket 3, so I basically anytime you say to get it, it's funny because you're like, oh, I don't know a lot about cameras, dude. I'm like a step below you. I just like listen to you, and I'm like, cool, great, I'll get that thing. So
I don't mean to sentence Oz, but Oz is your go-to. But actually, I'll filter it down to you because Oz speaks a different language. Oz, yeah, I'm like this motherfucker
give
is
money to
like
Oz.
he talks in Sanskrit half the time. He's like, oh, is this, and I'm like, I have no idea. I just go along with it and pretend like I know, and then throw it into like Chat GPT, and it'll tell me.
I know it.
Normal.
It's just a matter of time before I just give you my credit card information, so you can just buy stuff for me. I don't have to ask you anymore. Like, here you go.
Oz is about to get an Insta 360 X3 here in a week or so because. Yeah, because I'm done with it. I'm going to be honest with you. He like when I texted him, I was like, I hate this stupid thing. He goes, oh, I love it. It would be amazing. Anyways, so video.
If he wants another one, let me know. Because I hate the damn thing. I do. I hate it. I was just looking at footage from Sturgis. I'm like, I hate this damn camera.
Yeah. Oh God, I hate it. Anyways,
dude. Yeah, go on.
No, I was gonna say. So, video games. Have you been playing anything recently? Because I know you game. Like, I know you secretly.
Yeah.
Game.
No. I also secretly game. Part of it is because like I actually don't. I like playing with like my brother, but I don't like playing with other people because I feel like they're on a different level than I am. Like I have some buddies who play like Sea of Thieves, and I like playing with them, but it's like they want to play for hours, and I want to play for like an hour and then get off, so I just feel so obligated to match their energy sometimes, and that's why I don't like playing with other people. But I really just Call of Duty has really been the only thing that I've still been playing right now because it's easy to pick up and play and like put it down so that because like I've just gotten so busy with my side stuff with the 3D printing, right? Because with all the 3D printing stuff, I've been doing a lot of markets and festivals and shows as of recently. And so it's just an easy thing to pick up and put down outside of like we bought my son Let's Go Pikachu for the Wii. For the Switch. So we've been playing that a lot with him. Oh, it's awesome. It's funny. What it did is made me re-download Pokemon Go on my phone because I was like, wait a second. I was like, okay, now I'm playing this again. So a lot of Pokemon, I guess, with that stuff. But I am very excited. It's funny. You gave a face when I said Call of Duty, which I can get into later. But I'm very excited for Black Ops 6. I already got the Volt Edition pre-order. So like I'm ready for that. But yeah, that's kind of it. I tried to play Valorant the other day with a homie. It's Counter-Strike with superpowers, but that's probably what makes it perfect because I miss the good old days of Counter-Strike.
Yeah, But let's get back to the fact that Call of Duty is a fucking terrible game. It is awful. I hate Call of Duty. I hate Call of Duty with a passion for so many reasons. But let's get into the modern reasons of why Call of Duty is the worst video game out there. It is
that's
so
crazy. All bad. Of that. Are you're saying all of them, including Black Ops?
No, like Black Ops 1 was good. Modern Warfare was good. What's the one where you die when you start off as a private and you get nuked? Is that Modern Warfare 1?
That's Modern Warfare 2. 2.
Modern Warfare 2 was by far my favorite.
It's incredible. Yeah.
So it's like, here's the thing. So I'm not saying that I haven't played it, but Modern Warfare has just gotten so absurd recently, right?
Yeah.
Like, first of all, it brings nothing new. Every fucking season, nothing new. It's just the same shit. They're like, oh, shoddy snipes in Nuketown. It's like, oh, well, there's no Nuketown anymore. I'm like, there's a house that looks like it got nuked in the town. It's the same shit. Right?
There's a bus in the middle of a goddamn road.
Yeah, it's the same fucking thing, right? Plus, not to mention, here's the other thing too, is I'm not 12 years old and I can't dedicate 76 hours a day somehow to playing Call of Duty to be even competitive in it, right? Then on top of that, explain to me, why in the fuck that is an 80 gig download?
Okay, we were talking about this at work today because this might filter into some hot takes, but like why I hate Nintendo has nothing to do with their games. I hate Nintendo because their system is crap. Like, it's proprietary $80 bullshit. No, it's dumb. It's so stupid. Like, those Joy-Cons, $65 for stick drift. They still haven't fixed that. It's been years and you still couldn't get a Joy-Con with stick drift. Okay. The games from Nintendo are basically perfect, right? I won't lie, minus some exceptions, but we can get into that later. Call of Duty is the same way. I think the game's great, but like, its software and engine is just hot garbage.
That's the fucking game.
Like, there's no
software and engine is the fucking game. That's the fucking game. That's like saying the car is a great car. If it wasn't for the interior and the motor, it would be a great car. That's a fucking car, man. That's just
because that's thing. It's like, but that's what I'm saying. That's the exact point, right? Harley Davidson would be a perfect motorcycle if they updated the goddamn technology in it, but it's not. And I wish they were on level with Honda, but they're not on the level with Honda. I still want a Harley just with updated technology, so it can still be the thing and still be lacking. And that's my point with it. But I know. Hold on. Explain to me why Call of Duty it's 120 goddamn gig 120 download.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, from start to finish. Yeah.
I just want to point out that you literally just said, damn, that girl would be hot if she was taller, skinnier, had a better face, had a better attitude. Then she would be great. Come on, dude. Like, seriously, the game sucks. There are so many other games that do it better than that. Like, it's shocking how bad people forget, like, how much better Halo 3 was and still is comparatively to Modern Warfare right now. Then Modern Warfare stole the beginning of fucking Fortnite with the whole parachuting in and all that other shit like that, right? Then why not just play Fortnite at that point? Like, anyways.
Because Ninja plays Fortnite.
Okay. Real quick.
I haven't even given you like the craziest hot take ever that I feel like is going to make us enemies.
What the fuck game are you playing on Switch that you care about the minimal amount of stick drift that you get? Like, because none of them are precision game. There's not a precision game except for maybe
you never played Pico Party?
Dude, yeah, like I play all the party games. But like,
okay, Pico Party needs some precision, John.
Like, I'm just saying, it's like a few little things. But anyways, okay. So I'm ready to hear your hot take at this point because I'm already pissed at this point. At this point.
So it's funny. We were talking about this at work today. So one of the interesting hot takes that maybe isn't that much of a hot take, I'll give you two of them and see how mad you get at me. Maybe you won't for this first one. I will always say that controller is superior to keyboard and mouse. And the only reason is because and it's funny because somebody heard that from across the room at work and just looked at me and I said, no, if I were to just give you a keyboard and mouse, you would hate it and you'd have to modify it to make it work the way you want to make it work and make it perfect and all this other jazz. And you've basically made it unrecognizable to your keyboard and mouse. But if you get a controller, it's good. It works. You know how to make it work out the gate. Like, it's fine. And cause he was like, yeah, but the modification is the point. It's like timeout. If I were to take a Corvette chassis and motor and put a Ford F-150 truck over top of it, what car am I driving? Is it a Ford F-150 or is it a Corvette? And the answer is it's a Corvette. You're driving a Corvette at that point. But I hate I don't mind PC gamers. I don't mind PC games. I like PC games. I don't like the fact that PC gamers think they're superior and better because their stuff works better, but they have to make it that way. Like, it's not like it came that way. To me, a superior product is one that you buy and it's a superior product, not one that you make a superior product. Does that make sense? Is that
No, it does. It's very similar to Apple and Android, right? Like, it's the same thing,
right?
You have the same people.
Exactly.
But like, my thing is with the whole keyboard thing, and I know that there's probably an advantage to using a keyboard and a mouse, right? Because now you're using like you're omnidirectional opposed to like, it's kind of funny when people don't realize that analog stick games came from like Smash TV from Nintendo, and you had to use two controllers, right?
Yeah,
like you had to use two. That was like where analog started, was Smash
Mm-hmm.
TV and Nintendo. But like that's a really far take. But I get the advantage of it, right? But what I don't get is two things, right? I'm right there with you with PC gamers, right? I'm 100% there with you with the actually people, right? Actually, I'm like, actually, all you had to do, the smugness that comes with it, and just the fucking assholeness of PC gamers. Okay, two is this, like your hands, like after a 3-hour gaming session, your hands are cooked up like this, dude. Right? You're like this.
Take my strong hand.
Right? Like, what the fuck?
Just gotta
like,
stuff it in there.
And the other thing too is that like I start looking at like a gaming keyboard, right? You're like $250, $300.
Yeah.
A gaming mouse, $300-$400, and they all swear against wireless, which that drives me nuts too.
Unless
like,
you have the Gravistar wireless.
Oh, dude, hey.
This thing's freaking
Boom!
Yeah,
one.
this
wait,
thing.
Wait, which
this
yours,
thing.
though? Do you have the M1?
I got the M1. Yeah,
M1 Pro.
The M1.
Or did you just get the M1?
I think just the M1.
Damn, you didn't get sponsored right, son. Get the M1 Pro.
I know.
Anyway,
well, they asked me. I was like, that one.
all magnesium body. You can find it on my TikTok shop. Anyways. No, it's actually a great mouse. I actually take it with me everywhere I go.
It's my favorite. Everywhere.
It replaced this guy. I mean, to be honest.
Yeah, same. Same.
Bullshit mouse, by the way. Whoever designed this had the smallest fingers on the planet. Fuck that, people. Anyway, Apple, hit me up. I'll teach you how not to make a mouse. It's that. Anyways, no. So no, but I'm with you on that. So
yeah.
Okay. So, but in the end, what's your favorite game?
Like all-time favorite game?
All-time favorite game.
Man, this might sound weird, but like it's all-time favorite because of memories. Honestly, Soul Calibur 2.
With this memory shit again? I swear.
It was Soul Calibur 2. It was one of my favorite fighting games that I ever played. Yeah, it's a great game, but like there was a lot of nostalgia. There was a lot of, we were in a really hard spot as a family, and it was like something that we all played to kind of break out of it, just to forget things for a while. But it's also just like a great game. Like I think I will stand by that. It's actually a good game.
Who's your guy? I
think
wait, hold on. I'm gonna guess.
Okay.
You are either an Ivy person or a Maxi person.
Oh no. Okay, cool. So you might
no shit.
Neither of those people. I hate
because if you say Boldo, I swear to God, I'm gonna slap you through this game or through this TV.
I was a Keelik guy.
Oh, I'm a Keelik guy too.
Hell yeah, dude! Keelik was the shit. I don't give a fuck what anyone says about his reach. He was the fucking man, dude.
Yes, Keelik is great.
He was good.
He was the Eddie Gordo, though. Let's be honest. He was the Eddie Gordo of Soul Calibur. You could pretty much just spam buttons and get away with it for the most part.
Hell yeah!
But
you do that thing where you
got good.
You do this little guy.
Yeah, but when you got good, then you were unstoppable at that point.
Well, and that's how I was also
with the sword, that Ivy chick with the sword that went under the ground.
Oh God!
Right, and then
my buddy was an Ivy chick, and I could never beat him. But I was my second guy was Nightmare. Was the second guy. I loved Nightmare. He was so
Cervantes,
good. Well, because I wasn't
Nightmare.
Yeah, Cervantes, Nightmare, and because Astroff was cool, but he just wasn't fast enough for me. My brother got really good at Astroff, and it was really annoying because even though he was slow, if you got good with him, you were just screwed.
Astroff kind of sounds like a venereal disease.
I got that Astroff.
I had a bad weekend.
Sturgis got Astroff. That's what Sturgis smells like, Astroff.
God. So,
oh my God. Okay. So what's your all time?
I wish I could say Halo because like Halo really got me into like hardcore gaming, right? But like I gotta tell you, man, I think honestly, like, and just from the series of games, Borderlands would probably be my number one. Like, and Borderlands 2 to be specific. Like, I think Borderlands 2 was iconically a perfect video game, right? And what I mean by that is like the storyline was amazing. The bad guy was relatable. I mean, like Handsome Jack was kind of relatable, right? Like, and I don't mean like you put yourself into his position. I mean, like, he's likable. I mean, like he was
complex. He was just complex enough to not be abstract, but to understand.
Right. And he kills like a main character and you're kind of like, I probably would have killed him too. And that shit was badass. Yeah. Right. Like,
so how do you feel about the movie coming out?
Okay. Get started on the movie.
I want to get you started. That's why we're here. We're here to get you started on the movie. Because I have some interesting thoughts. I can start and then we can let you process, or do you want to start?
No, I've been processing this since the day it came out, since the fucking trailer, since they said Kevin Hart came out. If you got so here's hold on.
Just immediately just. Why do I feel like you're reacting more poor to this than your traveling situation?
It's up there, because I've loved Borderlands since the day it came out. Okay,
yeah.
No, fuck it. I can't be calm about this. If you got Kevin Hart money, and Cate Blanchett money, right? How in the fuck couldn't you have got The Rock or Idris Elba or Michael B. Jordan even, or somebody to play fucking Roland than a short little midget that's funny with a high-pitched voice like an elf? That is the craziest thing I have ever seen in my life. It is absolutely absurd. Absurd.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think while I think that was a poor choice, the thing is, okay, the only reason I'm going to give it a chance is because, in my opinion, the only reason Jumanji was actually really good as a movie, like the newer ones. You don't like it?
No, I like The Rock.
No, I think it was because I think it was because they all actually were trying to act. Like all four of them. Jack Black was trying. Hart was even trying. The Rock was trying. I just lost her name. Nebula.
Yeah, whatever.
She was trying.
Loved her.
Yeah, she's amazing. And when you can get a story that's hard to tell and you get good actors behind it, it can be easier to digest for people. And so because we have Cate Blanchett, who actually I generally don't like, she's still a good actress. We have Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis's old ass is playing Tannis? Are you serious now?
No, I know it's a bad choice. I'm not saying it's a bad choice, but I'm saying that the acting...
Like 1,000 years old. She's like my age.
Dude, I know. But like, if they can act well... They might be able to pull it off. And I don't think they're going to pull it off in a way that's going to justify or be a good a good homage to the game, but it could still be a good movie.
No.
If that makes
sense. It's not going to be. There's no way. There's no way it's going to. I feel like I am just getting absolutely taken to the cleaners because I'm going to have to go see it because it's Borderlands. But the casting choices on this were absurd. Jack Black was probably the best casting choice, right?
Easily the best one.
Anybody could play Tiny Tina. That's kind of like a bratty young kid. But here's my question. Right? Mm-hmm. How the fuck is the Psycho in it?
That I've been curious about that since day one.
And not to mention, if you're casting this movie and know that like more than likely it should be a blockbuster, right? And it should go on for years, right? You're going to have Jamie Lee Curtis's old ass in it. Love Jamie Lee Curtis, by the way, right? She ain't making it till episode 3. She ain't making it. It's true. Going to be in a wheelchair when she becomes a fucking siren. She's going to be in a wheelchair. What the fuck? No, right? Yeah. I'm the new Firehawk, right? Cate Blanchett. Love Cate Blanchett. Love Cate Blanchett. But the Firehawk is supposed to be this like absolutely gorgeous, smoking hot redhead. Mm-hmm. And, again, for Gen Xers, Cate Blanchett, okay, you're hot, right? Like, great.
Sure, yeah.
But you're not Borderlands hot. Are you serious?
No, it could have been like Anna de Armas.
Yeah, it reminds me of when they did like X-Men New Class and they picked that one girl to be Rogue.
Yeah, dude, that drove me up a wall.
I'm like, you got this like just ookie bat face. You know what? It reminds me of Kirsten Dunst. It reminds me of Kirsten Dunst playing fucking Mary Jane. What the fuck was that? You got some emo girl playing fucking Mary Jane? Like, what? What was it? Mary Jane? It was MJ. Yeah, MJ.
Yeah, she was MJ. She was MJ.
Fucking
or it's like what was her bucket? Maggie Gyllenhaal as the first Rachel Dawes.
Right. Again, same thing. No, she was the second Rachel Dawes.
That was the worst part where you're like,
the first Rachel Dawes made sense. Second one is just, I'm Jake Gyllenhaal's sister. I'm going to be in it.
Yeah, I think it's just Jake Gyllenhaal in a wig.
God, dude. What is with the casting on that kind of shit? Like,
I don't
like
know.
Gwen Stacy was probably the first like good casting that I remember of like Emma Stone being Gwen Stacy. I'm like, I get it. Solid, right? And like, I hate to put looks on that. I'm not a misogynist, but like, comic book characters should look a certain way. I'm sorry. Halle Berry as Storm, fucking phenomenal. Boom.
Yeah, great.
Femke Johnson or whatever her name was, playing Jean Grey. Boom! Perfect. Right?
Anna Paquin is Rogue.
Stamos is as whatchamacallit. Stamos, the model playing Mystique, right?
Oh, yeah.
He was great.
Yeah.
Oh, and then you get Jennifer Lawrence to play her. Perfect casting, right?
Yeah.
But Kate Blanchett as fucking the Firehawk, bro?
Yeah. Well, the thing is like, I know there's going to be people who are like, it's a video game. Like, why do you care about how they, because it matters. It matters.
It does matter.
There's the thing is like part of building that world and building the connection, regardless of how weird it might sound, has to do with the look of a character. There's something that you're going to identify with. I remember when I was first, this is a weird transition, but like Apex Legends, right? When you have that I only played it for a little bit, but you had that big tank Samoan guy, and he's like a kind of a fat dude, and I was like, hell yeah, like finally a representation for like somebody like me who's just like a bigger tank looking dude, because you play all these other games like fucking Modern Warfare and shit, and they're all ripped ass people looking like you, asshole. No, you know, but
like, I know you want Meal Team 6 in Modern Warfare. I get it.
But that's the thing is like, that's the whole point though, right? Especially something like Borderlands or anything else like that. It's telling a story and you're growing the connection with the characters because of their story, because of how they look, 100%. Because of what they're involved in. And so, when you, Roland is easily to me the biggest injustice for the Borderlands movie, for sure. I think he is.
I would agree, but
because you're right. I mean, you could just got fucking Terry Crews, right? Like, where's Terry Crews at?
And you could have got more for your money with Terry. But here's my thing: is that like now if we, because it's gonna bomb, we're not gonna get a Borderlands 2. But let's say that we did get a Borderlands 2, right? Who's gonna play Maya in Borderlands 2, right? So we're on the Siren thing. Fucking Roseanne Barr, is that who's gonna be Maya now? Because we're just hiring on personality at this point. Because we're not obviously hiring on what sirens are supposed to look like. So fuck it. Let's just throw it out the window and make Roseanne. Dan! Fucking the siren. Dan! Because like I'm already sitting there thinking in my head with Kevin Hart. With Kevin Hart. Yeah, she racist as fuck. But like that's so. But I'm already thinking with Kevin Hart, and I do not do a good impression. But I'm just thinking like, so hey Marcus, hey man, hey come on man, let's go to the Borderlands, man. Let's go get the chest, man. Come on now, get the Iridium weapons, man. Like, fuck it, I don't want it. But I have to go see it. So I feel like I'm just being robbed because I'm going to go to the movie, just be pissed off the entire time, but I'm going to go see it. But let's talk about not being robbed. Let's talk about not being robbed. Deadpool 3, bro. Deadpool Wolverine. Dude. Let's call it the way it is.
Oh, yeah. Deadpool Wolverine.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I loved it. I couldn't so our Oz hasn't seen it yet, so we'll try to be as sensitive as we can to a lot of the bigger spoiler things.
Everything. That's true. I'm spoiling everything. It's his fucking fault he hasn't seen it. It's been 2 weeks. Come on.
That's true. It's been 2 weeks and it's almost hit $1 billion.
Past spoilers. Yeah, past spoilers.
I have to say
that's just your bad.
That that movie, what I love is when a movie meets my expectations. Like that movie was everything I wanted out of a Deadpool Wolverine movie. And then it exceeded it. So like it just blew me out of the water. Because I'm going to tell you right now, Deadpool and Wolverine intro, starting, bye, dance montage, not on my bingo card for 2024. I'm going to tell you right now, that was not on my bingo. And I loved it. I was in tears, laughing so hard. I couldn't take it. It was so fucking funny. But like what, oh God, like what for you, what was like, because we saw one TikTok you posted about like, I was wrong about this. And I'm totally sorry I was wrong about it. But what was your like, I want to know, one, what was your favorite part? And what was your favorite surprise?
Favorite surprise was Channing Tatum Gambit. I'm going to say that straight out of the gate because I have always wanted Channing Tatum Gambit. Mm-hmm. I've followed the story of Channing Tatum Gambit. But the weird thing is, though, is I've always said, hey, Channing Tatum Gambit will be good, but that dude that's in First Class or whatever would be better.
Yeah.
Right, the guy it's the guy that plays Mike Murphy in Lone Survivor.
Lone Survivor. He's also John Carter.
Which, by the way, rip, Mike Murphy. Yeah. Anyways, I'm on a Murph challenge here, by the way. So like I'm training for a Murph challenge. So, but we'll talk about that at a later date. But anyways, that guy was going to be great. So I was like, oh, maybe he would be a better Remy LeBeau than Channing Tatum. Cause I just like think Magic Mike and like think, 21 Jump Street and just can't see him doing it. Now that I got to see him do it, I'm like, I want more.
That's all I want.
Like, why is there not a Gambit movie coming out in 3 months? Like, and I know movies don't work that way, but like, give me a Gambit movie at this point. It could. It could. So Gambit was my favorite surprise. My favorite part of the movie, this is going to be so like weird to say, but I have two. One, loved the what do they call the rings from what do they call those?
Sling ring.
Sling rings. The sling ring with 2 Infinity Stones in it was awesome. Right? Like, okay, like, honey, you got some Infinity Stones, which, by the way, in the multiverse, like, nobody cares. But, like, the fact that Sling Ring had 2 meaning, like, Doctor Strange was even stronger, or potentially Wong was, like, even stronger. It plays back to Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness of when they were talking about, like, him becoming basically the most powerful being in all of that world, right? Whatever world it was, or in the multiverse. But anyways, no. My actual favorite part was when they were talking shit in the car, and Wolverine looks at him and goes, like, is that all you have to say, mouth? Right? Like, nobody likes you. You're a fucking idiot. You're not going to save the world. Blah, 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 blah. Right? And it was just it's cool to see, number one, Hugh Jackman lose the slick guy routine, like the nice guy, like perfect guy routine. And then also, like, to see how Deadpool responds when he just sits back and he goes, I'm going to fight you now. Right? Yeah. I loved that part. It was like,
dude, that monologue was so fucking good. That monologue was almost perfect. I didn't know that Ryan Reynolds wrote that, just like he wrote that thinking about how Hugh would have said that to him. And so he was like, here's your monologue.
I got to tell you, the weird thing is the movie didn't go the way I thought it was going to go. Right?
No,
like,
not at all.
I thought it was going to be Deadpool cleaning up the multiverse, and it absolutely was not.
Was not. Rolled. Yeah, that's not how that went for me at all. And I'm glad, though. I'm glad it went the direction it went. It that brings to light the only gripe I have about the movie. Because there's only one, which is really interesting. I only have one gripe about that whole movie, which is they somehow didn't manage to keep me worried about the stakes of the movie. Yeah, like, I agree. It was very not like the stakes felt high for a split second, and then they just didn't feel high anymore. And I wanted it to feel high the whole time. And it just didn't, and that's fine. Like, is it
because you just worried more about them staying? You worried more about them staying together than the end result of their world. Like, who cares about their world as long as Wolverine and Deadpool stay together? Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's like my gripe kind of with Marvel in general. Like, it was like after Thanos, it was like okay, you're just going to come out with a new big bad guy that's going to be the end of the world every 10 minutes. It's like, I don't give a shit anymore. So I was really hoping they were going to keep me really invested with a world ending kind of problem. And it didn't. And that's fine. I don't think it doesn't knock the movie down at all for me. It's just literally that's the only problem I had with the movie. Cause my favorite surprise, I thought it was when Jennifer Gardner comes on. I thought that was the biggest thing.
She had a good dig at Ben Affleck.
It was, oh God.
That was a good one.
That's fine. It's fine. My wife lost her mind when she said that, but it was actually when Wesley Snipes showed up. I literally was doing this, and my wife was like, "Are you good?" And I was like, "Ooh!" I was because Blade. I love the Blade movies, and I don't give a shit what anybody says. I'm not gonna say they're great movies, but I fucking love them all.
They were great. They were great for what they were.
I love the third one, and I know people disagree with me on that. Yeah, see, I don't give a fuck. So good.
Terrible.
I loved it. But that was my favorite. That was my favorite like surprise. When I saw that, I just like lost my mind. I was like, this is the coolest thing. I think my favorite part though, man, I really liked. I would say there's two. I really liked the montage of the like, let's get all the different Wolverine versions. Like, I love you start off with the comic book accurate version. So he's just this little short guy. Like, that was really cool. And I just like the whole little montage of all of that. I was really hoping it was going to go longer because when we got the, what did he call it? The Calverine.
Yeah.
The Calverine when we got Henry Cavill.
Because that was a joke.
Calverine. Right. I was hoping so bad I was hoping there's going to be two more and we were going to get Daniel Radcliffe and Danny DeVito because everybody had made those memes for a long time that they were going to be. I wanted a Danny DeVito Wolverine so bad and I didn't get it and I was sad because it just would have been funny if he's just like, Gah! Just like was running at him. Oh, so fucking funny. But that was really good. I really, really enjoyed, just kind of the whole thing of Wade realizing he wasn't happy and he was like trying to find himself. I actually really liked that because it just gave a lot of depth to Wade and it gave a lot of depth to like Deadpool more than just being that merc with a mouth. It was like he is a person and we have to remember that because that's something that like I don't think if you haven't read a lot of the comics, you don't really get this sense, but you don't realize like how unfortunately mistreated sometimes Wade is, and he's just I don't know why my phone's doing that, but that's okay. He gets mistreated a lot where it's oh, he'll be fine because I don't know what that was. I have no idea. But it's like there was a time where like him and Wolverine were stuck in a jail, and so Wolverine like tears him apart and like throws him outside so he can come back together to let him out. But like it was right after Wade had just got done talking about how he hated being tortured, and so it's like these really sad moments where you realize like Wade might be the merc with a mouth, but he's also like he's a human, and I love that they developed that part of it at the very beginning of that movie to really show you that he is still a person. He might be the world's perfect sarcastic asshole, but he's still a person.
I actually thought about you during the movie because there was one part there was one part that I was like, oh man, I was like, Benski's going to be so pissed that this guy's in this movie. Right. And it was when Cap was in the movie, right? When Chris Evans.
Oh God, that was the greatest thing ever.
And I'm like, oh God, I was like this. We have had so many conversations about this, right? Like he was an amazing Johnny Storm. He's a shitty Captain America. You fucking hate Captain America, right? Yep. And it was just so funny because he's like, oh, he's gonna say it, and like everybody's thinking Avengers Assemble, and he goes, flame on. And I was like,
bro, lost my shit.
I was like, my favorite part about this is I know Benski's just sitting there pissed off.
I was so angry.
Right. And then he does flame on. But right before he says flame on, he cusses. And that immediately I knew that he was Johnny Storm. Right. Mm-hmm. And I was like, hopefully Benski caught that same thing. But initially, though, I'm hoping Benski's pissed off the moment they got to the wasteland for him to sit there and go, fucking Cap. Of course, he's got to work his way into every fucking
dude. That's exactly. No, I literally said that. and then he cussed, and I was like, because I was sitting next to my wife and one of my best friends, and I was like, of course, fucking Cap's here. And then he cussed. I was like, is this Johnny Storm? And he had known about the spoiler before, and he just looks at me and he just like nods. I was like, oh fuck! I was just like so excited,
dude. I looked like Joe Rogan when that knockout happened. That meme, that favorite meme, like of everybody's from Joe Rogan. I was like this. Oh shit! Right, like just I like grab my kid and my daughter. I'm like, oh shit! It's Johnny Storm. Oh my god! So that was a good one that got me. Like that one.
So
totally got me.
So good. Yeah. So good. I feel like we could talk about this for a long time, but I think we both had to get going on life. We have life. We're busy.
We got to catch up on Hot D.
I still have to catch up on Hot D. You know, it's funny because I've been catching up on Game of Thrones because of our last podcast. So I'm still working on that.
And did you rewatch? Did you rewatch Star Wars yet?
I did.
Son of a bitch.
And I did.
Oh, good.
We did. I did. And I am proud to report, happy to report, not happy. I don't know. Yeah, man. I think Mace Windu, Mace Windu is the true villain of those three movies. Like, and it's like, it's crazy because when you watch it through that lens, it's not even close. It's not even close. Like, and it's evident. It's honestly funny that you miss it, but it's so blatant. It's not even funny. He's the bad guy. He's the bad guy.
100%. Anyway,
the entire reason everything goes south. Yeah.
We will we'll leave that as a cliffhanger for everyone, so we'll talk about it at the next podcast. But I do have to get going, man. It was great seeing you. Oz, again, as always, thank you for, unfortunately, so everybody knows, Oz is our sound engineer, and he has to sit here and listen to us banter on back and forth all the time.
Watch us.
Before and after and everything else like that. But anyways, you guys can find me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere as Brady Meets World. Benski, where can you be found?
Yeah, same thing. TikTok, Instagram, everywhere. Basically, Benski is where you're going to find me at. And yeah, we'll keep updating you guys, and we can't wait to do the next one. And it's been a lot of fun.
Well, thank you guys for hanging with us, Brady and Benski, where the conversation never ends.
Yeah, and I'm basically Benski, and don't forget to never stop questioning everything.
Thank you for joining us for Basically Us. We are glad you enjoyed the show and hope to see you next time when Benski says...
Yeah.
See you next time.